All right, everyone. We have been talking about oceans and the animals we can find in our oceans during science. So, when I was home the other night, I was on the web and I found an article called Baby Starfish Are Back. Now, I found this article on the Smithsonian Tween Tribune. And the Smithsonian Institute is a very, very famous museum and a group of people that publish lots of different great information. So I was on the Smithsonian's Tween Tribune and I found this article. It's titled Baby Starfish Are Back Again. And it is written by the Associated Press, meaning that a group of writers wrote this piece and the Smithsonian Tween Tribune picked it up and decided to publish it on their website. Now, this article is a secondary source. We've been talking a lot about sources, and so this one is a secondary source, meaning that the author took different interviews, different sources, and created one article combining all of that information together. So let's read about our baby starfish. Droves of baby starfish are returning to Oregon and Northern California's shores. A wasting disease destroyed whole populations of the creatures. This occurred over the past 2 years along the West Coast. So it says that it destroyed whole populations of starfish. I wonder how big these populations were in the first place. That's something we'll have to remember. So let's keep reading. Data was collected by Oregon State University researchers. The research shows a record number of baby starfish. They are also called sea stars. They survived the summer and winter of 2015. So the article says that this was collected by Oregon State University researchers. So I know that Oregon State University is a real college in Oregon, and I know that they do a lot of research on marine biology. So I'm going to consider this research and data a credible source. So let's keep reading. They survived the summer and winter of 2015. This was reported by the Eureka Times Standard newspaper. So like I said before, boys and girls, this is a secondary source. And that because it took information from the Eureka Times Standard newspaper, it makes it a secondary source. All right, so as we continue, it says, when we looked at the settlement of the larval sea stars on rocks in 2014 during the epidemic, it was the same or maybe even a little bit lower than previous years. Oregon State University marine biology professor Bruce Minge said in a statement. That was a really, really long title, so let's read that one more time. Oregon State University marine biology professor Bruce Minge. So we know that the guy who said this statement is a biology professor at Oregon State University. So we can say that he is also a credible source because he was one of the people doing the research on the baby starfish. And we know that the author considers him a credible source because he or she cited him in our article. As we keep reading, here we go. But a few months later, the number of juveniles was off the charts. It was higher than we'd ever seen, as much as 300 times normal. A similar increase was found at sites just north of Trinidad, California. That is near Patrick's Point State Park. A baby starfish boom also was noted in the summer of 2014. It was near Santa Cruz. So I'm wondering how far Trinidad, California and Santa Cruz, California are from the place that the baby starfish boomed in Oregon. We'll have to look that up on our map. A virus killed millions of starfish on the Pacific coast from Southern California to Alaska. It caused them to lose their limbs. Eventually, they would break down into slime and piles of tiny bones. That virus seems terrible, and I wonder what its title is, so we're going to have to look that up after the article. The cause of the outbreak remains unclear. Some have hypothesized, remember that this is a educated guess, that's what hypothesized means. So some have hypothesized it to be abnormally warm waters in the Pacific Ocean. The warmer waters have wreaked havoc on marine ecosystems. This has been going on for the past 2 years. Humboldt State University Marine Lab Director Brian Tizot disagrees with that hypothesis. So here again, boys and girls, we see another long title of who someone is. So let's read it one more time. Humboldt State University Marine Lab Director Brian Tizot. So the author is about to cite him so that so that the audience knows who he is, they included this long citation of who he is and why he's a credible source. So let's see what he says. He disagrees with that hypothesis. That is because the virus spread during colder months. It didn't expand as much during the abnormally warm 2015. There is no clear environmental clue, Tizet said. He added that the deadly wasting disease has gone down in intensity, but he said it remains present. I wonder, boys and girls, if it will ever go away, that this terrible virus, if it's something that is on our planet for good. Experts say it's encouraging to see the large number of baby starfish, but they believe disease, competition, and environmental factors make the survival of starfish difficult. So we see that they're happy that we have these huge population of baby starfish coming back, but they believe that disease, competition, environmental factors will make it difficult for them to survive. I wonder what we can do to help make the survival of starfish a little bit easier. I'm guessing we can go to Oregon State University's research website and find out for ourselves if there's anything we can do, what that virus was called. And remember, we also want to go to our maps and see how far Trinidad, California is from the shores of Oregon where these baby starfish were found.